Hey, good people. My phone died while I was doing the first video, so I'm just gonna do a part two instead of trying to redo the whole thing. All right, so I think in the last video I mentioned that the importance of light and water, right? And I think I talked about heavy metal toxicity and mitochondrial dysfunction, okay? And that's why your water and light is going to be very important in order to address the mitochondria. Okay, in terms of heavy metal toxicity, you're going to have to research how to do a proper heavy metal detox program, and I think I spoke about that as well. But these are all things that I teach in the master class that I do. But these are critical things. So as it pertains to, I don't remember if I talked about light exposure, right? If not, the way I would address light exposure is I would get out into the sun at least 3 times a day, expose as much of my skin as possible, okay? Because the melanin is very important, especially if you're a person of color, because neurodegenerative diseases affect people. They look different in people of color, okay? This is discussed in literature, and they don't understand, but it's because of the melanin, okay? It's very important. Activating the melanin with the light, because melanin is a master chelator, okay? It's very important, but you need the proper you need to activate it properly and replenish it properly, and that's why you need the light. Another thing too that you really need is going to be the water, okay? Because that's needed also. Melanin splits water. That's a very big thing I just said. Um, but I go over it in my masterclass. Anyhow, so yeah, the water is going to be important. Light is going to be important. So how would I interact with food, and how would I interact with my environment? Again, I would get into the sun 3 times a day. The first hour of the day, middle time of the day, okay, and that's to get your vitamin D up, because vitamin D is not really a vitamin; it's a cholesterol based hormone. And you need to, in order to get that, you need the certain a particular UV exposure that comes in the middle of the day, okay? But you need the red light exposure as well in order to address your mitochondria. And you're gonna get that exposure in the first hour and the last hour of the day. That's why I'm saying you need the first hour of the day, you need the last hour of the day, and you need the middle part of the day. And you don't need to be wearing sunblock in order to do this. And you don't do that. I wouldn't. Stare into the sun if you can. The only time it's safe to really do this is in the at sunrise, first hour, sunset, the last hour of the day, okay? Now, as it pertains to water, I would be getting them from my fruits and vegetables, because you're gonna get them with the correct hydrogen isotopes in those from your plants, okay? Because remember I said you need the water is for the electricity. Everybody thinks about the fats and nobody remembers that the water is what conducts the electricity. The water, you need the water, and you need the minerals that are going to come from the plants that are going to be in that water, because you can't separate water from you can't separate the water from the minerals, okay, or the electrolytes. They're inseparable. It's the same topic. When you speak about one, you speak about the other. You can't separate the two, and you get them with the proper electron spin from the fruits and vegetables, and you get the correct water with the correct hydrogen isotope. The hydrogen isotope is very important again, and you need that too to help address your mitochondrial dysfunction. So you need the water is important. The water is important, and the people always fight about water drinking, because again, you're all gonna get it wrong when it comes to the water drink, because you're not really meant to drink water. You're meant to eat your water. And so I would juice. I would juice very heavily. Okay, is what I would do. I would juice very, very heavily.
And I got all sweaty.
Yeah, my son. You see, this is why I do my videos in the car. But I would use heavily, and I would get my water from the fruits and vegetables is what I would be doing, okay? So that's really what I would be doing. I would get salt out of my diet. I would get all in organic minerals out of my diet, like for instance sodium chloride. It's neurotoxic. It takes water, okay? It's a very water intense molecule. It would rob you of water, and it especially robs nervous tissue of water. So I would get the salt out. There's no such this idea of healthy sea salt or healthy mineral salts from inorganic rock-based forms is not really an accurate thing. You want your minerals to come with a certain spin, and that is usually done when you get it from the plants, because it's attached to a carbon-based molecule, meaning an organic molecule that comes from plants. Okay, so you're gonna get the right water. You're gonna get the water with the correct hydrogen isotope. You're gonna get the minerals attached to the proper molecule. Okay, these things are important, I'm telling you, because remember, you need these things for the nervous system. You need the right information. Your nervous system is your interface between the things you can't see and the physical, between the light and the dense. Okay, and when you have a neurodegenerative disease, basically what's going on is your interface is not working properly. Okay, that's why the light and the water is very important. And I know that you're gonna get the proper water and the light from the environment, the sunlight, and also from the foods. That's another thing too, is the foods have biophotons in them. It has information in there. You need that biophoton information from the foods. And so if you're eating the vegetables uncooked, then you are able to extract the biophotons, which is food. It's information for the mitochondria. So I would not cook any of my foods. I would not, okay? Because when you cook the foods, you do two things. You destroy the biophoton, which is what I'm telling you. Other than the light coming from the sun, that's very critical. You need that. But other than the light coming from the sun, the food contains remember I just said, the fruits and the vegetables have the water that you need in order to help heal the neurodegenerative disease that's going on, right? When you cook the food, you drive the water out, you drive it out, evaporates off, and you also you destroy, you convert the biophotons. Okay, you change the information. All right, the very two things I'm saying you need gone when you cook the food. So when it comes to food, that's how I would interact with the food. It would be all raw. I would not eat anything cooked. I would do heavy juices. I can't stay too long. The baby's crying. I would do heavy juices, heavy on the juices. I would do monomealing. Monomealing is not restrictive. I'm not telling you to restrict your calories. I'm telling you to restrict the digestive process. You don't want density in the digestive system. That's not where you're wanting your energy to go. You want your energy to go towards healing and repairing the nervous system. You can't operate in two sides of the nervous system. You can't operate in parasympathetic and sympathetic at the same time. And if you're eating dense cooked foods, you're in the side of the nervous system that is not optimal for repairing your nervous system. So you really can't. I mean, when you eat cooked foods, the amount of blood that rushes to the digestive system and the digestive organs in order to produce enzymes and such, to try to extract what it can from the foods, it's absurd. It's absurd. So I wouldn't interact with any cooked foods. I wouldn't interact with any meats. Okay. The amino acids in the meats, we can have another discussion about that. Moisey, can you go get your sister? You can turn on the light too. I can't stay too long. The baby's up. So yeah, this is what I would be interacting with. My primary food, which is going to be the light, the water, and the air. And then your secondary foods are going to be the fresh fruits and the vegetables. And I would monomeal them. I would eat until I'm satisfied, and then I would move on. Leafy greens, tender leafy greens, also are not heavy on the digestive system. Your darker leafy greens are going to be heavy on the digestive system, but they're highly mineralized, those dark leafy greens. So come, baby. So you can engage them, but I would juice them, okay, if I engage those. Okay, come, baby. She's mad. So that's what I would do, okay? I'm gonna see if I can make a part three when I'm not with the kiddos because they're very distracting. This is why I do my videos in the car, you guys. All right, I hope you found it helpful. I'm gonna make a part three to dig a little bit deeper because I know this is a very deep topic. It's very extensive. I've seen what neurodegenerative diseases can do. They're quite debilitating and they're very hard to get a handle on because everybody focuses on one thing, okay? And they're not looking at the deeper underlying issues and what the nervous system actually represents. But again, I would not interact with cooked foods. I would only interact with fresh foods, fruits and vegetables. I would engage juicing quite tremendously is what I would do to get the water and the minerals in. And I would look into some sort of really legit heavy metal detox. I'm not talking about the medical kind of heavy metal detox because they use EDTA as a chelator, and EDTA is it does not protect the kidneys. You can have some serious issues with that. So I personally would not, me, if it was me, I wouldn't go that route. But yeah, these are the things that you have to look into. These are the things, this is how I would address things. When it comes to your greens, I would do like I said, the tender leafy greens, like the lettuces, the microgreens, and the sprouts, okay? Because they're going to have the free amino acids in the way that you need them, and they're going to be enzyme rich. You don't want to be engaging your digestive enzymes as little as possible because that's not where you want your energy to go, okay? I hope again this was helpful. I know I'm moving pretty quickly, but I gotta go. This girl is gonna pull my shirt down in order to get to my breasts, and we don't want that on camera, okay? All right, I love you guys. Yes, we're gonna eat. All right, love you guys. Bye.